Hello friends, welcome back. My name is Constance and today I thought I would bring you out here. I am currently, when I'm filming this, in Alabama, and I'm going through some of our property and collecting my trail cameras. We like to put trail cameras out all over the place, and you know, a lot of people use them for hunting and all of that. And while we do hunt and we do like to see what is coming about, we also just use them to keep an eye on the property. You know, see what kind of animals there are, see what's been visiting. We'll use them if we've got, say, some predator issues. We'll put some up near the chicken coop, you know, see what's been snooping around at night, things like that. So trail cameras have lots of uses. But as you all know, we are in the process of moving to Arkansas, to the mountains, and I need my cameras there now. We need to see what's coming around on that property. So I'm just coming out here and gathering these up. I'll come and grab those posts later on. Just looking at tracks. So I had a few questions that I thought I would go ahead and answer while I was out here doing this. Well, first of all, the kimchi. So the other day I shared a video on starting homemade fermented kimchi, and I mentioned that, you know, I was just getting this started and I would share the taste testing results in a little bit and let you all know how that went. Well, here's the thing. Mr. Smith, Jeff, got into the kimchi without giving me the chance to film him. And when he tasted it, he said, "Ooh, this is really good." He said, "I think it needs a little bit longer though." I said, "Okay, well, we'll, you know, reset the jar, you know, put the lid back on, put the weight back in place and all that stuff, put it back into the pantry, let it go for, you know, a little bit longer." Well, a little bit longer in his case was about 5 minutes. No exaggeration. He got right back into it shortly after that, and I said, "All right, if you're going to be eating it, then we're done. We're not going to be going in and out of it, because every time you break into your ferments, you run the risk of some sort of contamination, and you don't want to do that, because of course your ferment environment should be sterile, with the exception of the natural bacteria that are in the plants and all of that, you know, the veggies and all that. So the weight came out, the fermentation lid came off, a normal lid went on, and it went into the fridge, and he has been digging into it quite often. Now honestly, I have not yet tasted it. I will. I'm not a spicy food person, so I'm a little hesitant about it, but he's loving it, absolutely loving it, and I've already been told I need to make more. So I had a few questions that I thought I would answer here real quick. First, I've had several people ask me how exactly we found our new homestead. How did we find the property? People wanted to know if it was word of mouth, you know, how it was. Well, honestly, I searched the internet. There's a number of websites that are real big realty types of websites. You've got Zillow, you've got Realtor, you've got Trulia, and there's some others out there. But those are the three that I'd say I used the most often. and I had put in my search parameters, made an account on the sites. You can put in searches with the parameters that you are looking for, the traits of the property that you want, and it'll run the search. And you can have it set up to give you notifications. It could be real-time notifications. It could be, you know, once a day, send me an email or whatever. Each site is a little bit different. But I had created a search with all of the things, the minimums and all of that. And I didn't even wait for the website to send me notifications. I would basically scour every one of those websites multiple times a day. Multiple times a day. There was one property that we had seen, thought it was absolutely amazing, loved it, said this looks like the perfect property. It had been on the market for maybe 2 or 3 hours. I messaged my realtor, asked her to get information about this, see if we can schedule a viewing. There was already a contract on it because people are moving to Arkansas. People are moving here. There are certain areas of the country that people just are flocking to. And, you know, good properties go quick. And so that is why I would actually look multiple times a day to see, are there any new dots on that map? We were very flexible with where we wanted to be. There for a little bit, we even looked in Missouri, southern Missouri for a little bit, because as we were looking in Arkansas, we just weren't finding anything that we loved that wasn't a fortune. And so we thought, well, we keep seeing properties in Missouri, maybe we need to just open up and, you know, open up our search and be willing to move to Missouri. Well, as soon as I started looking in Missouri, I wasn't finding any properties in Missouri. And I just kept praying. I mean, I prayed and prayed and prayed and prayed and prayed about this move. I mean, so many times. Not just about finding the right place, but just whether we were supposed to even do this. I don't think I've prayed more about something in a long time as I have this. And eventually, you know, it's funny because I had actually seen this property when it was for sale by owner, and I looked at it and I thought, oh, well, I think this is a really great property, but he'll never like it. So I never even showed it to my husband. About a week or so later, it popped up as being for sale with an agent. And I was looking at the pictures, and Jeff walked by my computer and said, "Ooh, what is that?" And I said, "Well, it's a house that just came on the market." And so I was scrolling through the pictures, and he saw it and said, "That's the one. That's the one." So I called the realtor and said, "This is the one he wants. Let's see what we can do about this." And she went the next day, filmed a video tour of it that following morning, because the owners who were selling it were actually on vacation, so they weren't going to be able to accept any offers until they came back. And so we had the time to do this, because seriously, houses were selling that fast. A lot of houses were being sold sight unseen because it's such an in-demand area. So they went and they filmed the video, and before the video was even uploaded, I had spoken with them on the phone, and they suggested, you know, this place is fantastic, we would absolutely buy this, but we really would like you to see it in person. So I jumped in the car. I took Mr. Smith's car because it's better on gas, and jumped in the car, flew down the interstate to Arkansas. And when we walked the property, I was kind of blown away. We walked through the house. went down the stone staircase to the gazebo, and as I walked out by the stream, I just was overwhelmed with the beauty of the property, and I just prayed. Lord, this place is beautiful, but if it is not the right one, don't let this go through. I prayed that so many times. If this is not the right property, don't let it pass inspection. Don't let something happen. Let the deal fall through. Let the owners change their minds. If this is not where we are supposed to be, squash it. Shut the door. But as I walked down by that creek, all I could think is, this place is so beautiful. I can't believe I could get to live here. And we went back to my friend's home because I was staying with her, and I spoke to the hubby all about it, told him all about it. Yes, we bought this place without him ever setting foot on it, without ever seeing it in person. I told him all about it, and he said, let's make an offer. And so that day we made an offer, and we knew we weren't going to hear anything until the following weekend because the owners were on vacation. About, I don't know, 2 or 3 hours later, we got a call. They had received our offer and it was accepted. And that's how we found our property. About a month later, we closed on the house. That was when Jeff saw it for the very first time. And I was so nervous him seeing it. I thought, you know, this is the one he said he wanted. And something that I prayed so much was, even if I don't consider it the perfect place, I just want it to be a place that he loves. He loves. And I don't know how many times I asked him, do you like it? Do you like it? And he's like, yeah, I do. So something else that people have been asking about is, of course, whether we have sold this property or what the details are. And I did mention it already in a video last week. We have not sold this property yet. We have not even put it on the market yet. We haven't even talked to a realtor yet. People have asked how much we're going to sell it for, but honestly, I don't know. I have a ballpark idea of what we think it will go for, but we won't know for certain until we've actually talked to a realtor about it. But when we do get around to reaching that point, I will share it, of course, and let everyone know that the listing is live and all that stuff. I've also been asked how big the property is, both this one and the new one. Here in Alabama, we have 9.6 acres. I think it's like 9.64, something like that. That is ours. And about 2/3 or so of that is open. So it's pasture, gardens, the yard, etc. And then about 1/3 of it is woods, like you see here behind me. And we are actually connected to, something like 160 acres of TVA land, which is public access that you can hunt on and fish in the creek and all of that, but nobody can build on it, nobody can develop it. And you know, we might have 9.6, but it feels like a whole lot more because of that. And the great thing about it is most people don't know anything about this. And our property in Arkansas is kind of similar. Our property there is a little bit bigger than the one here. Not a lot bigger, but a little bit bigger. And just enough. What you doing? Hi, buddy. What you doing? Hi, Jan. Hi, Hey, Addie. Alright, so I've got a few more cameras to grab. And so I'm going to gather these up, check the SD cards, see what's on them, see if any deer have been coming around. And I think we'll wrap this up for today, because I'm headed to Arkansas again tomorrow. Although by the time this video goes up, I'll probably be back in Alabama again. I've been burning up the interstate the last few weeks and will be for the next few more. So, thanks for hanging out with me here again at the homestead. My name is Constance, the Cosmopolitan Cornbread, and I'll talk to y'all next time.